here.
What's up, everybody? It's your favorite, I have no idea who this is, but he sure does look pretty, his favorite nerd. And today we are looking at the Maketoys Galaxy Meteor, which is their representation of Cybertron, Starscream, or one of them. To be fair, I've never seen those series in their totality. I am familiar with the design vaguely, but we're going to be looking at them nonetheless. This was sent to me by Maketoys. You know I like to be transparent about such things. We have a couple of accessories to go over, and we might as well go through them now. So he comes with two alternate head sculpts. One has a very severe kind of expression, and it looks a little goofy. A little burr. And the other one is a really nice kind of trademark smirk. Really well done. So the way to do those is you simply take off the helmet and then pop out the face. And then you can put a different face on and reapply the helmet. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. He has this thing, I have no idea what it is or what it means, but I guess or would assume it has some meaning to the lore. Nothing really to write home about. It does have a nice metallic gray throughout and then this translucent purple. And you apply this to the figure by sliding it into this open space here. Now, I want to talk about this for a second. You can do this with the wings up or the wings down. Now, I'm pretty sure, that these go like that, sorry. These come around here, and this is kind of the more traditional look. However, I have to tell you that I prefer them up here. I think that just makes him look more interesting. But you can do either way. And lastly, he comes with this gun. This does fold up, and as you can see, a wheel is here. We'll talk about that later. Just solid gray plastic aside from the handle, and it is sculpted well, but no paint. A little bit of a different way to get it in his hand, though, and I gotta be honest, I kind of dig it. You want to have his thumb, I guess, let me make sure. I guess up might be the best way, and then it slides in instead of down, it slides in, so to speak. I'm not sure. Might have to have it all the way back. But yeah, and then you can just adjust the thumb and the fingers around, and then he kind of has the trigger finger. So that all works well. Lastly, I'm not sure if it's as much an accessory as it is a gimmick, but either way, it's noteworthy, I feel. And that is, if you press this blue button, he has these bits that come out. Now, they come out in packaging. I should say they're packaged out. I'm not sure, because I don't know much about this representation of the character. I'm not sure if he normally had them out or if he kind of brought them out as weapons or if they were mainly in alt mode. I'm not sure, but it is a cool feature. There is some nice metallic turquoise paint on there on this translucent purple. And it just folds in, it's spring activated, and it clicks into place, and then you just fire it off. And there are one on both sides. And now we'll talk about the figure, which I have to let you know, action figure wise, it's pretty close to perfect. That being said, we're still going to talk about it. So the head is on a ball peg. It's a big ball peg, though, so it allows you to get a great range all the way up to there, down to there. The face has a silver finish, and there's some silver accents on the helmet itself. And then there's also his eyes, which are painted, but it is it's like a purple metallic, but it is a little dark. Might have wanted to brighten that up a taste. Moving down the figure, we have this yellow here, which looks like paint to me, but it might just be glossy plastic. Either way, it looks good, and then red and blue plastic here for the breakup. Moving down, we have red paint applied, we have blue paint applied to this gray plastic, which also has some gunmetal silver applied to the sides. These articulate forward, and once you have done so, you can actually get an ab crunch out of it on a ratchet. 2 clicks, and 1 click back. So nothing to turn your nose up at there. Gunmetal silver there, and then we have this blue paint on the red plastic here, and then we have this translucent purple over top, which looks like silver to me, and then a little paint accent there. Now, it doesn't look like it would have a waist swivel, but you'd be wrong. It certainly does. They made the cut there. Perfect. Perfect. Articulation-wise, it works tremendously. For the shoulders, which we'll get to now, you have a ratcheted joint here. these also articulate on the shoulder itself on a ratchet joint, so you can get the arm all the way around. And then once you have these positioned, there's an additional ratchet here which basically acts as a universal for the shoulder joint, which allows you to get the arm out to 90 degrees, just about, maybe a hint shy. Nothing to turn your nose up at. Now, this is part of the transformation. It does come unpegged. Not the biggest deal in the world, though, just something to be cognizant of. Shoulder itself, we have red paint there, which looks beautiful. Red paint here, which looks really good. Yellow paint here, which looks good. Yellow's a hard color to do, and they knocked it out of the park. We have blue paint here, which looks good. Red paint here that looks good. Blue paint here that looks good. Blue plastic there for our breakup. Then we have the translucent action feature with the red paint there. Red paint here. Come on! Well done. Same for the other side. Continuing articulation, we have a bicep swivel. We have a single jointed elbow, but it gets you way past 90 degrees. We have a wrist swivel. Thumb is on a ball peg. The fingers are on ball pegs. The index finger is on one. The other three are on a separate one. The index finger has a separate hinge at the next knuckle, and so do the other three by sharing the same hinge. Nothing to turn your nose up at, but they're not out of paint yet, ladies and gents. We got red, we got gunmetal silver, and we got blue. Deco-wise, they really gave it what they had on this one. Let's continue on. So for the hips, they're ratcheted universals, but they're not the best ratchets. They're softer ratchets, and the outward motion doesn't even feel ratcheted. The forward motion is on the soft ratchet, and it is a tight joint here. It's like Fanstoys put together the hips. Am I right? Anyway, articulation-wise, though, works like a champ, getting you the full Van Damme and the full Monty. No issues whatsoever. Thigh swivel ratcheted at the bottom of the hip joint. Knee on a single hinge, and wait till I show you this, you're gonna love it! But articulation-wise, gets you the full range. How can it get the full range? It's not hollow in the back. What? So this gives way as you bend it back, tucking it in, getting you the full range, which allows you to get some really just ridiculous poses. Fantastic. No paint on the thighs or hips, but given what we have on the rest of the figure, I'm okay with it, because we have blue paint here, red paint here, red paint here, yellow paint here, blue paint there, red paint here. That's a pen. Almost got excited. But just a tremendous amount of decos and sculpt work going into this. For the ankles, we have a tilt up all the way to there. We have a tilt down. We have no swivel. We have red paint here. Now, this is something that I talk about all the time. This would be tremendously difficult to get a rocker, especially if it was on a ball peg. But it's not, and they put a hinge in the side of the plastic here. Ankle rocker. No problem. The back of the figure cleans up very well. Let me show you this added feature here. We'll get these up. We'll give them the ab crunch. Watch the pistons and money. Money. Small detail that adds a whole lot for a guy like me. So I have to say, this figure, in terms of the action figure element, it's amazing. Size comparison wise, there he is with MP11. Huge bot. Alright, so let's get him transformed, and we'll start with the upper body. Take note of how I have the hands. On the back here, yours may not be like this, because yours may be in the more traditional with the wings down. Like I said, I just like it like this. We're going to take this out for now, and we're going to spin these up to make room. Now you're going to bring the arms all the way out, and then bring the biceps around. And then these, where that connection was that I said gets a little irritating, or not really irritating, but it can come undone. You wrap the arms around to the back side of the figure. Once here, open up this panel, and then flip the hand to the inside, and then this will come up and tab in and lock together. There it is. I had to mess with that a little bit, but you get the general idea. And we'll do the same on this side. Open this up, flip the hand in, continue up, and make sure that everything is lined up, tabbed together. And I'll clean that up. There's double hinge here and here, which can get a little irritating in making sure that everything lines up. There's no need to take your time to show you that. The next thing we want to do is break this connection here, which will open up this. As you come around, push the head in, and then this piece comes up and will lock onto these two pegs. Since I don't have everything lined up perfectly and we're not going to waste too much time showing you, I'm going to do that off camera and then we'll get back to it. These pieces come down. They're inside the abdomen there. And these pieces flip up. And now for the lower body. These pieces accordion down. Now, when you go to release them, when you go to release them for robot mode, just click here and they flip back up. That's on this piston here. But they accordion down. Bring the ankles up. You want to bring this piece out and then replace it with the heel. Same for the other side. Bring this piece out, replace it with the heel. And now bring the calves to the inner part of the leg by pulling down here between the knee and thigh, moving around, and you'll see it interlocks again at the thigh. And then you just bring these up and around. And that's it. We'll do it for the other side. We gotta bring down the thigh, twist it around, bring this up, around, together. Tab all this in, and then make sure that these pieces connect inside of that thigh there, and you have your jet. Really beautifully well done. Same features apply for the wings, you know, if you want this look. And other than that, I mean, the paint detailings and stuff comes through. You want to make sure that these are nice and pushed in against the sides. And it's beautifully well done. Make sure the landing gear down. I don't think I filmed that part. It's really, really well done. Like, I don't have any real complaints about this. Now, maybe part of that, these still articulate up. Maybe part of that is because I don't really know anything about this design. I mean, I know generally where it's from, but I don't have any sort of connection to it. It's funny because a lot of people have said, have been critical of some of my other reviews where I haven't known the characters all that well and thought that I don't like the toy because I don't know the character. And as much as I try to express to them that that's not the case, this is a great example of how I can clearly say that's not the case because I know nothing about this, have absolutely no interest in it, and have to admit that it's wonderful. The only thing that we have to do before we move on is show you how to apply the gun, and that's done by splitting the nose, and that's your connection. You take the top side of the gun, it has that little notch in there, slide it in, wrap the nose cone around it, and re-secure it. No fuss, no muss. Final thoughts wise, let's talk about the negatives. It's very few and far between. What am I going to say bad about this thing? Go to my list. Paint, no. Articulation, no. Price, how much does this cost? There's some joints that are a little tight, like you got a little bit of squeaks in the hips. I would have liked some hard, clicky ratchets in the hips that were you know, well spaced. In the back of the transformation, getting the arms and forearms and all that stuff lined up perfectly to tab in. It's not as smooth as everything else, but it's quite easily done. It just takes a little bit of an extra minute. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention, I didn't mention this in the articulation phase. These do articulate on an armature here that's soft ratcheted and here that's hard ratcheted, and then it swivels here. So you do get playability out of those as well. Negatives, jeez, I don't know, man. That's all I got. But in all seriousness, it's an absolutely tremendous offering. Probably one of the best figures I've looked at this year, Transformers-wise. Top 3 easily. The materials are good. The paint is great. It doesn't have finish, but there's enough paint everywhere on this and enough plastic and color breakup where you don't skip a beat. The presence is phenomenal. The action figure element of this thing, articulation-wise, is second to none. Ab crunches and ankle rockers on places where a lot of other companies would have taken the shortcut, given you a ball peg and said deal with it. Translucent plastics, metallic paints, flat paints, glossy paints. The materials are solid. There's no die cast, but I don't think it needs it. The sculpt is beautiful. It's an absolutely home run of an effort. One of the best MP scaled figures Maketoys has ever done. So yeah, I definitely recommend it if you're into the aesthetics, if you're into cool Transformers, if you're into Starscream, if you're into Maketoys, whatever can justify your purchase for this, make it happen. You won't be disappointed. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.